Yo, what up, YouTube? It's the Lore Master. Going to be talking about Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, episode 9. In this episode, wow, this actually might be the best episode for me. This is kind of what I've been wanting out of a Star Trek episode for a long time. It's kind of like a horror episode because there's a monster on a ship, and they're like trying to survive, and they're running through the ship, and the monster's running through the ship after them. So that's kind of what I've been wanting. We kind of got that with there was an Enterprise episode back in the day where there was like a bunch of crazy zombie Vulcans on a ship that chased him. Kind of reminded me of that at the start of it. Not too many monsters, but just the general idea of there's a monster chasing through the ship. It was pretty much just like one thing. And but let's get into it. I'm rambling there. It starts out with they get a distress call from another ship that's similar to the Enterprise. It's a not a Constitution class, but they use the same parts that they used to make the Constitution ship. Um, it's supposed to be like faster. It's like an explorer ship. I don't know, something weird. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. They found it on a planet that's crashed, and they find that all the crew is dead. So they're like investigating the ship. They're trying to get it reworking again, and it turns out that the Gorn have laid eggs in a passenger that crew recently picked up, and the Gorn laid eggs in a person, and the eggs hatched out of the person and then killed all the members of the crew, and they crash landed on a planet. It's a snow planet, and the Gorn apparently don't like the cold, so all the crew was like let the Gorn outside to have the remaining crews survive, but it turned out the remaining crew was just some big alien dude and a child. The big alien dude got infected with Gorn eggs, so he unleashes Gorn on the Enterprise crew that we know. Yeah, that's kind of how the whole thing started, of them running around through the ship being chased by the Gorn. It's like a baby Gorn that like quickly grows up. It doesn't get full adult Gorn, so it's just like maybe like the size of like a big dog, kind of chasing them. And yeah, they just kind of work through the ship, and there's a bunch of dialogue. The dialogue that's kind of happening between the crew is like it's continuing the story of these characters. So Uhura is still trying to find herself through the lessons of the people around her. Spock is still dealing with his emotions, and those kind of things kind of wrap up towards the end and have a nice bow attached to it at the end there of the episode. And this episode almost felt like a goodbye episode, like it was the final one, but we still got episode 10 left, so maybe that's going to be more of a goodbye, because before was talking about like leaving the ship possibly or whatever. Towards the end of the episode, she finally sees Enterprise as her home. At least that's kind of what the general feel of it was there. Um, Spock is just still dealing with his emotions. He's showing it more, so he's like concerned for himself. There's like maybe I'm becoming weak in the mind. And Nurse Chapel, there's some energy between Nurse Chapel and Spock there that I think we might see in season 2 if we get a season 2 of this show. Um, Other than that, I really enjoyed this episode. It's probably the best episode for me. This one and episode 3 with the disease that spread through the ship. I think these are two are the best ones. This episode, even though it was on another planet, it still took place in a ship. So I'd like to see more just like external locations for him to explore. We probably won't get that because we only got like one episode left, I believe, if it's a 10 episode show. But other than that, it was still really good. Yeah, hopefully next episode's better. I mean, if it's the final episode, hopefully it has a nice bow attached to it there. Good send off. I mean, the rest of the show's been pretty good. The worst episode has just been probably episode 7, the one where the pirates attack the ship. That was probably the worst episode for me, or the one with Spock and his wife where they mind swapped. Those were probably the worst ones for me. Um, yeah, other than that, this was really good. I recommend watching it, especially if you like Star Trek. Why not? It's the best show we got from Star Trek in a long time, and the episodes are really good. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Orville video should be up sometime in the next few days or so. And yeah, Lore Master out. Do all the fun YouTube stuff, and we'll catch you next time.